Hi guys, welcome to the video. This is a special edition and it's the December gift guide. It's also kind of the art supplies I really enjoyed this year. I hope you enjoy it. I love gathering these things throughout the year, especially for this video. So we're going to talk about the 12 gifts of Christmas, and I broke it up into categories, so we'll do a few things from each category. So the first category is gold. I love to add a touch of gold. I feel like even in a sketchbook, it's just so lovely. So this first one we're talking about is the Winsor and Newton Gold ink. I think it's a drawing ink, and I use this all the time on the channel. I really love this. So there are a couple of tips to as far as caring for it. You do have to shake it quite a lot, and then I always kind of pat you can see like the inside rim and the lid there. Otherwise it kind of sticks together, so that's another thing. You can hold it under a hot tap and it should soften up so you can open it. So our next gold is the Schmincke Aqua Bronze. This is the rich pale gold, and they have 5 different colors to choose from, but this is just a really nice one as well. So this one kind of, you just get the pigment powder and you can wet it, and that's it. You can you can gild the painting. You can see here that you don't need much water, but you kind of want to wait till it gets that sheen on it like that. That's kind of what you're looking for there. I really like this as a portable option as well, so because it's dry, so I'll put it into a little tiny quarter dram bottle. You can get them off Amazon. You would have seen them maybe in other videos, but I'll pop that in like a travel palette. And yeah, then I can use this kind of over paintings when I'm out and about. So I really enjoy this. So my third favourite gold for this year is are these gold flakes, and these were edible ones, and they were pretty inexpensive, off somewhere around $5 or $6 off Amazon. And yeah, what I like to do with these is use them with this glue. This was a little bit of a fail, this whole kind of star concept. I should have really practiced, but basically, I think in some of the floral videos we kind of used some of this glue, and I didn't actually have time here to wait, but you've kind of got to wait until it's tacky, and then you can put the gold flakes on, and then when you remove those, it will keep kind of the shape that you were creating. So again, you can see a bit of a fail there, but yeah, you wait till it's dry, and then you can kind of take that away, and you should end up with something if you wait till it's dry and if you kind of take more care with that. But the next thing we're going to talk about is brushes. I love a good brush for Christmas. I feel like my sister would say as long as it's a makeup brush, but yeah, I feel like a good brush can just elevate and escalate the way that you paint. So I do highly recommend a good brush, and I love these Escoda ones. I use them a lot on the channel, so I will link them below. This is a little number 2, and this is the travel version, so it's the 1214 series. You can kind of fold it closed. And then this one is the Versatil series, so it's a synthetic pigment, which I like in a bigger brush because it doesn't pick up too much and kind of waste all your pigment. So yeah, I'll link those below. And you can see here that a nice big brush with a small point is really good for general painting. Like you can see that you can get a fair amount of detail, but if you and then I'll show you here, I'll switch to the smaller brush. And the nice thing about a smaller brush is that you're not going to have as much of a pigment load or water on your brush, so it becomes easier to control when you're just looking for detail. So the third thing here, and what the channel is kind of all about, are watercolors. So I have so many palette videos, palette swatches and things, but I thought I would share a couple here that I've really loved this year. This one here is called Buttermilk. I think it's Buttermilk. It's kind of an ivory sparkle, really pretty. And then I've really loved the new Schmincke Naturals range. So this one here is the Celadonite, and it is a very soft green. I really love the Davies Grey from Winsor & Newton. But yeah, you can see here we have a whole range of palette swatches on the channel. And again, just collecting paints, so you might have a few that you really want for Christmas. I have spent quite a few years collecting all these things. That's the other thing I wanted to say. These are not things I expect you to just go out and get for Christmas. These have been like one project per year or per several years to kind of get any one of these things organized. So our next thing are palettes, and I'm going to put a few links in the description. I really love this. This is a new one this year. I think this even came out new this year. This is a walnut wooden palette, and it holds 60. I really love it. So, and then the other thing is just making a palette on some watercolor paper. So this one is from about 8 years ago, and yeah, it's still in really good shape. People love these. These would be really nice for like Christmas parties and things like that as well. And so one of the other types of palettes are my watercolor palettes. I've gotten so many questions about these, and these should be available again somewhere at the end of January, early February. And then this is another idea, is like a silver butter tray, an antique silver butter tray or something like that. I usually put things in there that I'm thinking of working on. So another favorite of mine are ceramic mixing trays or porcelain palettes. And so this one here is actually a cheese board from Farmhouse Pottery. I really love their just their whole entire range. But yeah, you can look in sort of an unexpected place like that. I love looking in at the kitchen kind of stores for art supplies or storage. This next one I'm so excited about. You guys know I love a good shell, I love a good pearl, and I love gold. So this is like the perfect little dreamy palette. These are shell palettes from Krista Kuhn's. So on one side the shell is like left without the glaze, like kind of left natural, and it feels like a shell. And on the other side it has the glaze for the palette and a little gold pearl. So completely adorable, and yeah, just a really beautiful product. I also found another version of this in another ceramic artist shop, a little bit more ornate. They are also on my wish list, but sometimes it's easier for you to get things in one or another country, so just look around near you and see what's available as well. This one here is from Marsha's Watercolors. So this, again, a beautiful ceramic gold trimmed tray, and all these little kind of palettes. I wanted to actually have this filled with my watercolors and pearls and things, but I just didn't have time. So yep. The next thing here is we're going to talk about like graphite type things. So the first one is the eraser here. I really like these fold out erasers from Faber-Castell. It keeps it nice and clean. And then I love the Caran d'Ache Technalo. This is the, I'm not sure, but this has more like a kind of a violet earth undertone. I'll link it below. I think they also have a blue and a green one, but I think this is more of like the red one or burgundy. So I'm just showing you here one of the reasons that I really like this. When you sketch underneath a painting, and you can see kind of the colour here, and I'll show you a different colour in a minute, but like a comparison colour. But I really like when you start to paint and the sketch is underneath this, it starts to give you that tonal range. Yeah, and I just like the way that looks as well. So okay, so these are my other favourite type of like watercolour graphites. These are the Faber-Castell ones, and this is very similar. The only difference with this one is it's just got more of a grey tone here. You can see the one at the top has just a slight kind of colouring to it, which is really pretty. So the other thing are these graphite. These are not water soluble, so these are just for graphite studies, and the Graphwood range. So these came in the like a little tin, but I really love that whole range. And so the next one, we did actually see a couple of these in the recent haul video. So some of these were included in the last few videos, and yeah, you can go back to those videos for more information and also just for some other ideas as well. But these are Contier Paris like charcoal and kind of drawing pencils. So I really have been enjoying kind of this whole idea of doing kind of the monochromatic sketching and just thinking my way through that as well. So, and this is a different kind of a set. This is a Faber-Castell one, and I think these are like more like the sticks of charcoal, like the I think like willow and different things. Okay, so the next category we have are pencil rolls. I really love the portability of a pencil roll, the fact that you can kind of put kind of a whole studio together, either a larger one or a smaller one. So this is a Blue Star Crafts one, and it is just a really quite a nice compact size and very lightweight, so you can take a few things, but you don't have to kind of be lugging around too much. So I've really been enjoying this year. You can see a very slim watercolor palette in the back there, and then some pastel pencils, which I've been really enjoying that kind of combination. This is a larger one. This one I put together a year or two ago, and it took me pretty much the whole year to kind of put this together, but I really enjoyed this at the time. I used it the whole year, and I really enjoyed it, but it was so heavy. It kind of went everywhere for a year, but after that I was like, I need to kind of pare this down, but very enjoyable. The next thing we're going to talk about are dip pens. This is the one I use all the time on the channel, so it's quite a cheap wooden holder, but it's a really nice wooden holder. And then this one here is the Tom's Studio Oblique pen. So this one here was so that you didn't have to turn your paper so much, but you still got the right angle. But it's just such a beautiful pen. And I recommend anything from Tom's Studio. And then the second one here is the Kakamori. So I got this last year and I haven't used it that much. I really still love it, but I wanted to kind of put the brass nib into use. So I got one of their new shorty handles, and this one's in the cloud color. And I'm hoping that this will become, so I kind of want this for a portable little kind of dip pen. So I'm hoping that something kind of sturdy. So I'm hoping that'll work out. And then I've just put another gold nib into the other one. And then the next thing we have here are pastels. So I did talk quite a lot about pastels in the last haul. So I'm not going to go through kind of everything. I still love all of the things, but I'll just kind of recommend these little pastel boxes, and also these Schmincke wooden pastel boxes. These are so good for, again, for like a traveling studio, kind of a pochade box type of a thing. You could make something like that out of these. These are really nice, but these little tiny kind of selections from the La Maison, the Henry Roche pastels are really beautiful. And yeah, I love their pastels. If you're in the US, you can get them from Fine Art Store, and you can just, they have like an open selection, so you can pick the colors that you want, or just pick one to try it or something like that. I always like to recommend just picking one or two of something in any product and just seeing how you go with it. But yeah, I have also been loving these sketchbooks. This is the Indigo Artways ones for pastel. So you would have seen on some of the earlier videos in the year, I put some pastel ground on the paper. And then as the year went on, I realized I just prefer using the pastel straight on the paper. The paper does actually soak up quite a bit of the pastel, so it's quite enjoyable. Okay, the next category are sketchbooks. This is a beautiful sketchbook I got this year from Manufactus, and I highly recommend their sketchbooks and their products. You can see the little one here was actually, we got these kind of small versions at the Beatrix Potter exhibit at the Morgan in New York. And yeah, my one had lines in it, which I didn't realize. So I looked on their website, and then I found that they have the beautiful Amalfi cotton paper in some of theirs. So I got one of the really large ones. They're really, really stunning. I highly recommend them. The next one here, this is from Caval Sketchbooks. So I loved the mitered corners on this one. I loved the Saunders Waterford paper in it. This is the high white paper, cold pressed. And yeah, this was a really beautiful sketchbook to work in. And then we have this one. This is the Art Creations one in pink champagne. I have been using this just for like sketches, ideas, just kind of thinking my way around and kind of through things, and also for sketching out things quickly for the channel. So I've been really enjoying it for that. It's nice to have a sketchbook that doesn't feel precious and that you can just kind of get a lot of ideas and things down. And you can see the difference there between the gold and the pink champagne. And then this one is going to be for next year. So this one is a Get Messy journal, and it's just bound beautifully. I'm glad some of you have gotten it and also said that you were really pleased with it as well. So it's got the vellum, like kind of a heavy vellum paper. It's got, you can see the nice yellow stitching, and then it's got some pockets through it as well. So yeah, this will be in my sketchbook lineup for next year once I get some of these ones finished up. This sketchbook you've possibly seen, and I have been using these and really enjoying these all year. So these, yeah, I've been really loving them. The last video we did, we started this Christmas one. I love the amount of space you get on the page for how lightweight and portable it is. Landscape never used to be kind of my favorite format, but I feel like as I was filming, it's kind of easier, and yeah, I've just been really enjoying it. So I also love these white ibis sketchbooks. These don't have many pages in them, so I do feel precious about them and feel like I want to use them when I want to think through a painting a little bit more. So I'm a little more hesitant to use these, but when I pull these out, I always love using it. And I think they come for around $23 to $25, so it's a pretty good price for a pretty beautiful sketchbook. Yeah. And then this one is just the Indigo Artways one that I kind of already showed with the pastels. So yeah, again, I've been really enjoying these ones. You could use watercolors and other, pencils and other things in them. I've just been really enjoying the pastels. Okay, the next category are art books. I just did a whole video on some of my favourite art books for the year, so I won't go into too much here, but I'm just going to show you a couple of these little sketchbook kind of zine type books, and I really love these. They're kind of like almost a picnic with the artists, so you get to see some of their work, some of their sketches, where they've been out on location, and kind of supplies that they're using, kind of ideas or like where they're coming from, things that motivate them. So yeah, I highly recommend these. They're really nice as well to like put in your bag and flip through if you have a few minutes waiting somewhere or something. And then this is a similar one from Anne Cowan. I showed this last year, I think, in the gift guide, but I still really love this. So again, yeah, they're really, really nice kind of books. And then the last category, number 12, I don't think I put the text on here, but is art. So art itself. So some of these are prints, and hopefully in the next year I'll sort of keep gathering these and then be able to show you like a gallery wall. And I'll link these artists below. This one here is a print from Molly Lemon. I love her channel, and she engraves wood and then prints with it, and it's just such a remarkable process. So I really love it. And then you can see kind of the opposite. You can kind of see the whole spectrum of what I enjoy here. This is some actual original art, and it's so beautiful. I love the kind of the thought process behind her pieces, and their freedom and the kind of playful, the colours and everything. I really love it. So and then along with collecting art, also creating art. So I have a course I just launched, The Verdant Garden, and we talk a lot about, we go through maybe 9 paintings or something like that. It's quite a few paintings in there, but I wanted the course to be a lot more than just like follow me step by step and kind of finish with a painting. I wanted to create kind of a body of work that shows you more of the process of painting. So watercolor is a little bit different than other mediums in that you start with the lightest values and then you preserve those and you keep kind of building on those. The darkest things are kind of the last things that you put on the painting. And so going through this process, I've kind of structured it so that each painting builds on the one before. And so we learn how to construct a painting technically, but also how to compose a painting aesthetically. I really want you to kind of be able to think about like how to paint something after this, not just have one finished painting, if that makes sense. Watercolor is not necessarily the easiest medium to kind of come to terms with and to kind of figure out. So I wanted to do that with you kind of step by step and build the confidence in that. And yeah, so hopefully I've already had some really interesting feedback and discussions, and I'll talk about those I think in the next video. And also some things I've thought of how to explain a few different things, but I'm also just really glad it's enjoyable for you. I think I wanted to kind of sneak in some of the learning so that it's not full on learning. It's quite enjoyable to watch and to create as well. Yeah, and what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I have had some feedback that there's been problems logging on, and that sometimes it's been saying that the course is full or something like that. It's closed for enrollment. So that's not so I think I've tinkered around and fixed some things on there. So because of that and because I also had this done later than I wanted to have this done several months ago, and it is now the holiday season and everything. So I'm going to leave the coupon code up until the end of Saturday, so that hopefully if you wanted a chance to get that, you can. And what else? Yeah, I need a few days now to just finish working on a few things for the course, and then I'll be back hopefully on Saturday with the first of the Matryoshkas. If you have left a comment, it might take me a couple of days to get around to replying to that. I'm just still feeling a little under the weather, so yeah, but other than that, I hope everyone's doing well. I'm really glad you're enjoying the class, and yeah, I will see you guys on Saturday hopefully with a new video. Okay, bye.